They say the scariest monsters aren't the ones under the bed. They're the ones already living above you. It began with a family of three who thought they'd found their dream home, a young couple and their 5-year-old son. A quiet suburban neighborhood, a big backyard with an old swing set, tall oak trees swaying gently. The rent was low, almost suspiciously low. But they needed a fresh start, and the house seemed perfect. The landlord showed them around quickly, rushing through every room until they reached the ceiling hatch in the hallway. "That's the attic," he muttered, voice tight. "Don't bother with it, just storage." His words were clipped, rehearsed. He didn't meet their eyes. The couple exchanged glances but said nothing. The first few nights were peaceful, unpacking, laughing, their son running from room to room, filling the house with life again. But on the fourth night, as the clock pushed past midnight, they heard it. A dragging noise from above, faint but deliberate, too heavy for mice, too steady for creaking wood. Something pacing, something scraping boots across the beams. The father grabbed a flashlight and pulled the attic ladder down. Dust rained from above. He climbed carefully, the beam of his light cutting through cobwebs. Just boxes, old insulation, nothing unusual. He laughed nervously, brushed it off, told his wife the house was simply settling. But when he turned to leave, for just a fraction of a second, the flashlight flickered. And in that brief darkness, he thought he saw movement in the far corner. The next night, the noise returned, louder this time. The little boy woke screaming, pointing at the ceiling. He said someone had been calling his name. A whisper, deep and slow, sliding down from the attic into his room. The days grew stranger. Toys went missing and later turned up stacked neatly in strange places. Food disappeared from the fridge. The mother swore she heard breathing when she passed beneath the attic hatch. Sometimes she even felt warm air against her face, as if something was crouched above the door, waiting. On the sixth night, the father forced himself back up with the flashlight. Halfway across the attic, the beam sputtered and died. The blackness was absolute. He fumbled for batteries, and in that silence, he heard it. A low chuckle, inches from his ear. He scrambled back down the ladder, slammed the hatch shut, and refused to open it again. By the end of the week, their son had stopped sleeping. He begged to leave. He told his mother something strange. He doesn't live here. The house lives in him. She asked what that meant, but he wouldn't explain. He just cried, pointing at the ceiling. Then came the night it revealed itself. At 3:02 a.m., the boy's scream split the air. The parents rushed to his room and froze. The attic door above the crib was hanging open. Two long, pale hands reached down silently from the darkness, fingers stretching for the child. The father shouted, and the hands withdrew in an instant, slipping back into the shadows. He yanked the hatch open, climbed halfway up. Nothing. Empty. No footprints, no intruder. But in the thick dust across the attic floor was a single word, written carefully with a finger. Stay. They tried to leave that morning, but the front door refused to unlock. The key wouldn't turn. The windows, every one, had been nailed shut from the outside. When the father tried to pry them open, the nails bent inward as if resisting. That night, the noises grew bolder. Scraping became footsteps. Whispers became laughter. And sometimes, just at the edge of their vision, they saw him. A man, tall, gaunt, crouching beneath the rafters. His face blurred, shifting like static. His mouth stretched too wide, teeth too many. The boy refused to be in any room alone. He clung to his mother, shaking, whispering that the man was smiling at him from the corners. Neighbors avoided the house. Curtains twitched when the family passed by. One older woman finally spoke. Another tenant lived there years ago. He went into the attic one night, never came back down. But some nights you can still hear him dragging himself across the beams. Desperate, the parents called the police. 2 officers arrived, flashlights in hand. They searched the attic, declared it empty. But later, footage from their dash cam leaked. It showed their lights sweeping across the rafters, and for less than a second, caught between beams, a figure crouched upside down, head twisted completely backward, grinning into the camera. The officers never filed their report. Their cruiser was found 2 blocks away, engines still running, doors open, radios hissing static. By the 7th night, the family themselves vanished. The house was discovered locked tight, every light still on, food still warm on the table. Upstairs, the attic hatch gaped open, and scratched deep into the wood were new letters. Welcome. To this day, the house remains empty. Realtors refuse to list it. Contractors refuse to step inside. But locals whisper that if you walk past after midnight and you glance up at the attic window, you'll see him, crouched low, waiting. And if you ever move into a house with an attic, remember this warning. If you hear dragging above you, don't check it. Don't listen. Because once you know he's there, once you've seen even a glimpse, he will never leave. And soon enough, he'll be whispering your name too.